My mom turned crazy the night my father left us for good. He had given up on us, on my mother's ways. She was getting up in the middle of the night and stepping out onto our cold, muddy yard to dig a hole in the ground. Every night for a week, she worked on that one hole, as if trying to tunnel her way back to Korea. It had been her idea to move us to the States 4 years before, and my dad never let her forget it. I was 12 then. It was winter. Her small spade hitting the dirt sounded like coughing. That night, as soon as my dad's car turned the corner, she dropped the spade and turned to me. I felt the eyes of the neighborhood wives and grandmothers peeking through blinds and curtains, judging us, wondering if people like us deserved to share their skies. A gust of wind brought my mom's hair to life, and even though I knew words were coming from her mouth, it seemed as if the black, uncombed strands were the ones speaking. She ordered me to grab all of his things and pile them in our yard, like his socks, underwear, toothbrush, the basement TV, his leather Bible, the briefcase I'd gotten him for his birthday which he never used, pictures of him and me, his half-empty jar of Sanka. While I made runs back and forth, my mom lay on the dead grass, the moon shining down on her tears and the small pile of Dad I'd created next to her. She rolled her face to the side, her ear touching dirt. "What do you think God does to people like you?" she asked the ground. She had on only her robe and no socks. She was naked underneath. I asked her if she was cold. Without answering, she stood up, slapped something off her knees, and stared past me and into the house. "Did you grab everything?" I nodded and looked down at the slippers he'd bought me, wondering if they were supposed to go into the pile. Before I could ask, she walked off into the garage and came out seconds later carrying a small can in each hand. With all the lighter fluid, the pile lit up fast, the flash instantly warming my face. I stood there and didn't try to stop her, because I loved her too much then. I knew it wasn't good to burn all of Dad's things, but how can you not love someone who lets you see them in all that pain? For the first time, I saw her clearly, as if I were inside a dream of hers, watching all her thoughts. She wasn't putting on an act. She wasn't being a nurse. She wasn't being a mother or a wife or a good Christian. She was just dropping to her knees inches from the fire and sliding her thin arms into the flames. If I screamed, I didn't hear it, but I did pull her back, grabbing a fistful of her bathrobe, fully understanding that I was now playing a part in that dream. When the fire trucks and the ambulance came, I left her and ran into the house. I locked all the doors, turned off all the lights, because we had revealed too much of ourselves. Crouching under a window that faced the yard, I heard 2 neighbors saying how they'd never seen such a thing. A man asked my mom how she felt. All she said was, "I'm starving." In the cafeteria, Knowledge said to me, "Life's only as bad as you make it out to be. It's got nothing to do with the way it is." After 3 quick shovels of mashed potatoes, she mumbled, "You get me?" Her knees rattled under our table. I folded and unfolded the paper napkin on my lap and drank my milk before telling her that I didn't, and that I didn't understand most of what she said. She nodded. "I like your honesty. I do. I demand it, actually," she said, and patted my back. "Here, for your bones." From under her sweatshirt, she pulled out a half pint of milk and sneaked it onto my lap. "You know, I never knew a chink before." "That's okay." I packed the mash and the Salisbury steak inside my dinner roll. "I didn't even know chinks ran away from home." "We can do a lot of neat things," I said, swallowing. I liked hearing her laugh, and I didn't care that she'd call me a chink, though I wanted to say that chinks were for Chinese, and that Koreans had their own special name. But that was another subject, and I liked the way we were talking right then. "Hello, ladies." I'd seen Wink walk up to us, strutting past the tables, looking to see who was checking him out. He could have been Chachi's younger brother, dressed in tight jeans.